you knowing what you know about her, you're thinking, well, this can only lead to bad things.
Right.
And there's so much subtlety to this movie that there's a lot that they just do not lay out for you. You have to figure out relationships, how do people relate to each other, what's going to continue on after this movie's done,
Right.
What seeds have been planted that will either be good or bad. And actually, I don't want to say anything. I don't think the movie was meant to end like this, but I found the ending of the movie actually very frightening because of what they left me to think about.
Oh yeah.
So after thinking about that, I was like, damn. That was a really good movie, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what? As far as a film like that, the one aspect that I love about it is the relationship between the two kids. As far as just kids who are definitely outsiders in their own right, and finding each other and coming to grips with exactly who they are and what they are. And seeing how that balances out, see how that works out.
Yeah. Well, they didn't try to hold back either. I mean, we're talking about kids.
Oh, no, yeah.
We see
there's some pretty violent scenes, yeah.
Well, there's violence, and they put them in some nothing too graphic, nothing extreme.
Right.
But they put them in some very adult, potentially sexual situations.
Right.
Even complete with nudity and everything. And so it's.
But but I will say even that it was done tasteful. It wasn't really. There was no part in that movie I felt.
It's actually based on a book too.
Yeah, it is based off a book, right?
So yeah, I did not. I'm looking at it right here. It's described as a Swedish romantic horror film, and based off the book of the same novel. Yeah, so it's. I have to say, man, I walked away. It's one of those movies where it's still feeding you
right
after you're away from it,
and that's what I loved about it. I mean, I loved it while I was watching it from beginning to end. As far as a genre type film, it's definitely one of the most original genre films in years. I mean, honestly, as far as the idea of throwing two kids in a situation like that, especially having one who's a vampire, and I do love how they do show you the everything you always thought about the mythology of the vampire. It's still very much there, but it's cleverly shown as far as what would happen if a vampire walked into your apartment without being invited.
Things they never address
like
in vampire lore.
Yeah,
because we never know what happens. Like, well, because a vampire standing at your door, and it's like, I can't come in unless I'm invited. And it's like, well, what if you walk in? What's going to happen? They might explode or something as they walk in the house.
And that's what I thought was real smart about it, because even though that's not the point of the story, really, it's cool that they show those little things from every once in a while, because sometimes you'll forget. Oh, she's a vampire. She's a monster.
I think and really that's what you have to come to grips with as you watch it, because I thought there was one scene in there where it was extreme, but then I had to remember this is a person who for years, maybe centuries, has never had to mature past a certain age,
right,
and therefore keeps that viciousness of a child who doesn't know any better. And when I thought about that, I was like, you know what? That makes sense in the context of this character and the context of a true horror movie. We're not supposed to be sensitive to children's safety and within their well-being. In a true horror film, anything goes.
Yes.
So, yeah, man, I thought it was a pretty brilliant movie.
Yeah, I love the acting too. I thought the two kids were brilliant in that film as far as just their interaction and I was really taken back by it. So
I think it just depressed me because because of the cinematography and the setting.
Oh yeah,
it's snow drenched and it's gray.
Yeah, they create a fantastic mood, a real creepy mood throughout the entire film. The cinematography is incredible. The directing is great. But it's funny because if you were to take away all the supernatural elements, I mean, it would seem like just a nice kind of romantic film dealing with two kids that are, like I said, outsiders finding each other. It's like people finding each other in the oddest situations.
Yeah,
and I thought that's what I love as far as that movie, because it's a movie that has heart. Even though it's a horror film, it had a lot of heart, and it was very original as far as the story was.
Yeah,
showing.
It was it was. I would say if I had one complaint, and even I can. If I want to explain my mind around this, I can. I thought they introduced one of the bullies too late in the movie. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh,
and I thought his actions were a little bit extreme without really explaining it. I mean, who knows? But maybe he was just trying to be. Maybe he was just trying to scare the kid. But I thought without having explained to me, I thought it was a little bit extreme. But hey, that's a small complaint.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I strongly recommend. I know it's playing in some cities right now, but I strongly recommend everyone go see this film. I wanted to actually write a blog about it, but I couldn't. Yeah, during Halloween, as far as if you're going to go see any horror film,
go see Repo.
Go see that one. Yeah. Go see Saw. No.
But
no, it's a great film. Yeah, go definitely go look for it. You'll be doing yourself a favor. So.
Yeah. So, anyway, hey, you want to get into some email right now?
Yes, let's do some email.
We forgot to plug you in and charge you up today. I cannot find your cord, so you said you're going to tap out around, about the next 20 minutes or something.
But hey, we'll jump in. Let's do this.
All right, let's go ahead. Yeah,
let's do this.
that was.
I can't say that anymore without having to yell it out. It's kind of,
I know it's like
that's
why we
annoying.
named the show because of you and because of you were so used to saying it. Now
I know it. I can't even say it like I remember last week I was like, yeah, let's do this, and I'm like, let's do this.
And no, it's like, and now for a very relaxed, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this now.
Let's do this. People.
Okay, so, let's see here. Renegade was nice enough to put up a group for us where people can submit their questions. I haven't been going there in a while, so
That's
I said
right.
he reminded me today, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go there now that I've gone over some email in my own account. So let's go ahead and read this first one. And I'm looking at it right now. All I see is Barack Obama in there. So if we've already answered this, we'll move on.
Oh, no. Yes.
Andrew Hayden Phillips. I've talked to Andrew before. He's a British guy. He's very serious talking, but he talks about things that nerds talk about.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, he's talking about he's like you're at the UN talking to a foreign diplomat or something. Now, I'd like to talk to you about Pokemon if you have time.
Sounds like that dude Hex. Have you heard that guy talk?
No, Hex is more like,
Hello. This is Hex. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. I'm down here.
Feeling chipper today.
I've shaved the fur off my feet today.
So, Andrew Hayden Phillips says, let's talk about Thundercats. Now, he says, now that the world has noticed Barack Obama has become the first African-American president of your country, will good and evil in media like cartoons be? I guess good media is a place that makes political cartoons and whatnot.
Okay.
Be affected and could perhaps put more African-American like characters on shows like they did with Static Shock. I'm going to try to make sense out of this question because you do bring up a good point. I don't know if I'm answering his question directly.
Yeah.
But I guess caricature artists now and political humorists, I wonder if they're thinking, how do I go about handling a black president? Because if I do a caricature of him, if people get mad if I make his lips too big?
No. No. Artists do not change their style for anyone. I don't care, a black artist or a black person or what. No, it's not going to happen. I mean, it's funny because everyone's like, now that we have a black president, does that mean we're going to have to eat chicken every day? Or we're going to have to get watermelon and it has to be eaten every Sunday?
A staple of everyone's diet.
Are we going to have great drink in the water fountains now?
That's like the four food groups. Like the chart has changed.
Yes.
The four food groups are chicken, ribs, grape soda, and watermelon.
We all going to have black preachers. Are we all Baptists now?
I think honestly, that's a good thing to wonder if people who did all the political things, like if somebody has something that notices that Barack Obama has done something they don't like, and they want to make some sort of humor about it, or maybe it's not even something they don't like, something they got criticized for. I think, okay, how do I go about satirizing this guy without going back to making this guy
Right.
look like something off of a racist Bugs Bunny cartoon or something.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people are thinking that way, but I can see if they are.
I think some people are. Yeah, like I said, I mean, they think, we have a black president. We're gonna have a black president, and everything is going to change.
Yeah, it's like
there's gonna be. Does this mean Yo MTV Raps is coming back?
Does that mean do I get like 80 channels of BET?
Exactly.
But so I mean, you gonna see political cartoonists like they just gonna say fuck it. They just gonna like Photoshop his picture on the cartoon.
Exactly. No.
No, I don't. No, I don't think.
No.
I don't think people are smart enough in this country. We're
Right.
all pretty. Here in America, you see now people making fun of black people and knowing how to go about it. Like I said, there's a line that you can hit if you don't cross, and everybody knows better than to cross. It's just with anything.
And it's just, I mean,
And if it has a
we
point,
have
it
like
makes
Reverend
sense.
Al Sharpton that people make caricatures.
Yeah,
of.
I mean,
Jesse
yeah.
Jackson. Nobody's drawing fat lips and all, whatever,
Exactly.
whatever you want to
We
say.
know what to touch and what not to touch.
Yeah.
Just like with the what did they have on the Sarah Silverman show?
Yeah.
She did something so funny, man. She's like why I like black people, like I like Jewish people or something like that. I'm trying to think of some of the jokes that she said. It was very funny. She said, "Why blacks are like Jews." And I think one of them was like, that's what it was. How black men are like my Jewish mother. And she's like, they both like to wear loud, colorful jumpsuits. You know what I mean? And so it was things like that I was laughing. I mean, nobody felt bad about that.
No.
And I think we were already reaching a stage now where, look, black people are beginning to be more noticed in different roles and in parts of media that we didn't see them before. Right. Will Smith, I mean, for God's sake, that guy's like, he's called like the $70 billion man now or something.
Is he?
So, yeah, he's like one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. I mean, I still think there is, and make jokes. I'm not arguing to have sex with white women or anything like that. I still think there's a hurdle where people are going to have to like get over interracial things, like seeing like interracial romances on TV. I mean, it's just, and I'm not even talking about between black and white. I'm talking about between everybody, but but it's more or less people have to get used to seeing white women with all kind of different colors of man.
Hey, those white women, they're dirty.
Exactly. I'm saying they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. They're doing animals.
You
they're doing
nasty
all kinds,
white women, you.
I know. And if you've been on the internet for more than 10 hours, you've seen it all. So. God knows I have.
I think, but that's the biggest thing. I think interracial relationships are going to have to, of all kinds, are going to have to be reexamined on TV. And that's one of the biggest hurdles we have to get through.
Well,
So,
I don't think. I don't think the president's going to have anything to do with our television. I think
not at all.
Yeah.
What do you think? Barack Obama's going to run the cable company now?
So that's exactly it. So no, as far as like, I still think we're still going to see a lot of issues that some things just don't go away because the population is still filled with a lot of ignorance.
And racism is not gone. I mean, that's
gone.
the thing.
Don't think just because we're going to have a black president, everything.
Black people are still a minority.
Carpet.
I mean, we make
Right.
jokes like, "Who's the new minority?" Black people are still
yeah.
in the big scheme of things. So the social minorities. I mean, I think even
Now the Mexicans, those are the ones that everyone's ignoring right now. Those are the people who will conquer.
Man, they are booming.
So you should be,
They're the fastest growing population right now.
I think that the next guy that's going to end up going to be our president is
gonna be probably Hispanic.
Yeah, it's going to be George Lopez.
Yeah.
George Lopez will be our next president. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So, get ready for that.
And Lucy.
Hey, you remember when we had the black president? I remember.
Hey, man. I'm doing everything but a Mexican. Like
I
Ricky Ricardo, I think he was Cuban.
He was Cuban. Of course.
Yeah. Hey, Lucy. People, Mexicans are mad right now.
There's a Mexican outside who wants to sell us oranges.
So anyway, I think before Barack Obama came in, the images of all kind of people were improving. In the media. If you want to know the truth, is that it was the Asian man that I think who probably needed to come up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They were the ones who were the invisible minorities.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
and they're the ones making all the cool shit. So.
Exactly, other ones making the robots and shit.
Yeah.
Who you think built
exactly? Who you think my goddamn father was?
Yeah, we went and had hydraulics
bitch.
put on him in Mexico, but he was made by Japanese guys. So.
Japanese father left me, Corey.
Fujikako or something like that.
Didn't even give me a kiss goodbye.
He want to get rid of your ass as quickly as he could.
Son of a bitch. I'll find you, Dad, wherever you are.
Okay, here's a good question from MDU.
MDU. All right.
I don't know if that's a girl or guy. I've been to their profile before. I'm so sorry, sir, ma'am. But
Whatever
they
you
say,
are.
What do you guys think of Inglourious Bastards? You know what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the remake of...
I've never been that big a
Bastards.
fan of QT, but the cast he's getting is killer. Brad Pitt, B.J. Novak, Mike Myers, Eli Roth. He said, well, that's crap, except for Pitt.
Eli Roth.
yeah, I
What,
know.
he's
Why
an
we-
actor now? What?
Yeah, what? Anyway, I go to, boy, here's a real question. I
Uh-huh.
thought that was a question before,
Yeah.
but she goes on to say, anyway, my question is this going to be a movie that is going to have a wide audience, or has QT tapped into a niche that will only appeal to a handful of folks like the Grindhouse flicks or even the Kill Bill movies? Look, I think he's got a big enough name now where
Right.
if he gets a big enough cast, good names,
Uh-huh.
people will come and see it.
Yeah.
Your problem with Grindhouse is that we've said this over and over again. Don't know how many times we can
Right.
say it ain't different. 3-hour fucking horror movie that was kind of a purposely a niche film,
Right.
released on Easter weekend.
Yeah. Bad timing. Bad everything.
Yeah,
No need for any movie like that to be 3 hours.
no, not at all, man.
Yes. And I don't care who you are. Nobody's going to be sitting in the theater for 3 hours to watch some blood and guts get splattered across the screen.
An intentionally made
Yes,
bad movie.
exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
you're gonna get that one. You're gonna get that small percentage of an audience. All the film geeks and
Yeah.
all the fans of Quentin Tarantino, and they're gonna say, "Oh, I can't wait to see this movie. Here's the clever thing he's doing." Everybody else gonna be like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Exactly. No, people were complaining. I mean, I've heard stories. I'm sure you've heard stories of
Yeah.
the regular Joe who could care two shits about Rob Rodriguez or Quentin Tarantino. They walked out the theater going, "Hey, your film's all fucked up. I just paid $8 to watch a fucked up film. What the hell's going on here?"
They're like, "Sir, that's done on purpose."
Yeah.
What?
What is this, a porno theater? What's
Yeah,
going on here?
shit.
What kind of quality? What kind of quality entertainment are you
Shit.
trying to throw
Exactly.
at me?
You mean
call
I
this
left my
quality?
Yeah, exactly. I left my high definition TV
I
to come pay to watch some shit that looks bad on purpose.
I got X-Files now. That is a show that looks like that's a tour de force compared to this.
People go, "I can watch fucking Xbox
I know.
at home and watch some better shit than
Exactly.
this."
I just paid $8
To watch some scratched up shit.
to watch some bullshit.
Yeah, no, that's your problem. I mean, when you go
Yeah.
off and try to do little gimmicks like that only appeal to film geeks,
Yeah.
what do you think is going to happen?
Exactly. Yes.
But I think I'm reading Inglourious Bastards right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to tell.
It is. I mean, I
How-
think this is.
have you read it at all or anything?
What, as far as
script for
the
it.
script? No, I have not read the script. I mean, I've seen the original film,
But it has nothing to do with what he's
does
doing.
it?
No. Tell me
Really?
about
It does?
tell me about the original film.
Well, the original film is about these prisoners who were, I guess, they were in the military, and they were arrested for doing whatever. You don't really know their crimes or what they did before, but they're arrested, and they're basically being shipped off to a prison, I believe. I hadn't seen this movie in years, but yeah, they get shipped off to a different prison, and eventually they get attacked by Nazis. So basically, the trucks that they're in get attacked, so they're free. So they're in enemy territory though, so they're trying to get across, I guess, to the Allies. Just to escape, I believe. Now, I could be getting this all wrong.
Okay, well, look,
but yeah,
there's nothing remotely.
yeah.
what I'm reading right now.
Are you serious?
No,
okay,
it
yeah.
has-
It's just about a bunch of guys who basically trapped behind enemy lines.
This is not a
and they're
remake.
trying to get the hell out. Yeah.
Okay, I believe. I read so much shit. I don't know what's real anymore with this, but I do believe I heard Quentin Tarantino say, "Yeah, I like that movie, but it's not the movie. I just like the name, so I'm just gonna
what?
take the name."
Well, I tell you what, the whole point of that movie was these guys basically they end up taking out their own guys and not knowing it, and they realized that there was a group that were undercover trying to
Now, did you
take
just
out
ruin the whole twist of the movie?
No,
Okay.
not really. Well, there's something that there was a mission that they were set on. The criminals realized that they just fucked up, so they try to redeem themselves by pulling off the mission.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, look, this movie right here.
It has nothing to do with that.
No, none of that.
Okay,
no,
then I don't
no.
know what
This
he's
is
doing. Yeah.
no. I'm reading the script right now, and I mean, there's a whole section. Okay, I was just talking about appealing to film geeks
Uh-huh.
and how you did maybe doing something that appeals to a special niche.
Yeah.
There is one section in this movie, and for people who don't want to know, I haven't finished reading the script, and if
Yeah.
the script is. let's say providing I have the right script, right? I'm not reading some shit that just threw out there that has nothing to do with this movie. There's a whole section in there, and this is a hoax. That's very elaborate. I mean, but there's a whole section in there that is centered on a French girl who, I'm sorry, a Jewish girl who's hiding out in France and is passing herself off as a French film theater owner, and she decides to get revenge on the Nazis by doing something I won't say. But that's a whole section of the movie, and it's her. I don't know if she's talking. I don't know if this whole part is going to be. I think I'm reading the script. I think they said it's going to be in black and white, maybe.
What?
It's going to be filmed in a way that kind of is reminiscent of movies from that period. She might even be talking French through that whole part. I'm not sure on that. Please don't quote me on this. Yeah. But none of this, I'm not sure.
Well, that sounds like a horrible idea. Yeah, because the film I saw had nothing to do with that. But
no, it's not the same. No, and Brad Pitt is playing some guy who's sort of a hillbilly, and there's another guy who likes beating Nazis over the heads with bats and shit. Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. Yeah. You can't really tell what's going to happen with this movie until you actually see it filmed.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's funny because I was assuming he's just going to take that old film and just do his Quentin Tarantino thing with it, but. Yeah, this sounds like something completely different.
I will say this. I've always admired Quentin Tarantino, even something like Grindhouse. I've always admired Quentin Tarantino, Robert, anybody who tries to do something different. Just like I was saying with Repo. If you're trying to be different and you think, and you're doing this because you're doing it out of creativity. You're out of admiration for something you know.
Right, yeah.
You're not doing it just to go out there and make money or make a quick buck. I mean, I admire that. So I already admire the direction the script is going. Will it work or will it appeal to a large audience? It really is hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is going to be the movie that kind of puts it to the test, whether if he does still have like a huge fan base as far as just the general public, having to see a Tarantino film, or the niche audience that he's kind of created with Kill Bill and Grindhouse.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. I mean, even though, Brad Pitt is attached to it, so that name alone will bring people in.
That's what I'm saying. It will.
Yeah, but I guess you'll have to wait and see after like the first week to see how it holds up. That's the true test. I mean, the opening weekend, I'm sure.
I mean, people went to go see.
It's going to be huge. Yeah,
they went to go see Burn After Reading just based on the strength of George Clooney and Brad Pitt, and I don't think that was truly a mainstream movie either. So who knows, man? We'll see. I mean, right now what I'm reading is it's kept me interested, and I do want to find out where it's going. Yeah.
Well, that's too bad because the original film. It was a great concept. I mean, just the idea of it was just outlaws, realizing they screwed up, take it upon themselves to right some wrongs, basically, and try to be good guys. But even though they're all bastards, they're Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, they try to pull off this whole plan, fighting the Nazis, and it was a cool movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I definitely go rent the original one. It's awesome. I mean, watching it, I can understand why Tarantino would want to remake it, but apparently,
it ain't no remake.
What you're telling me, it doesn't seem to be that way.
All right, so let's see here. This comes from First of all, look, your light is blinking.
Yes, I know. So,
I mean, I guess we.
No, read one more. No, that's all right. We'll be fine. Read one more for the people, Corey, before I shut down.
Okay. I would like to hear your thoughts on the genre of comedy. My question is a two-parter here.
Two-parter.
I know, you picked the wrong one.
Oh, damn it,
You wanted to read one more. Okay. All right. First of all, in particular, did you laugh so hard that your eyes watered and your sides hurt? You shot milk through your nose. Is that a question? What the? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read the first part. First of all, what movie in particular did you laugh so hard that your eyes watered, your sides hurt, milk shot your nose, etc., etc., etc.? And secondly, what type of comedy do you prefer? Comedy I prefer is funny.
Yes. Anything funny.
Yeah, I have no preference of any type of comedy as long as it is funny.
As long as it's not made by the people who do Epic Movie and all that bullshit, I will not have any of that.
But for example, right when I think I'm not going to be into something, somebody makes a comedy in that particular category that I find funny. teen sex comedy, I thought nobody's really making anything that's jumping out at me. Super Bad I liked, but I wasn't crazy about. But then I saw Sex Drive, and I laughed my ass off in that movie, man.
I love Sex Drive, and it's a shame that movie came and went, but that was one hell of a funny movie, and I love Superbad. I have to admit, I laughed a lot harder at Superbad, but maybe that's just me.
No, I mean, everybody did. I didn't hate that movie. Yeah, I did not hate it at all. I laughed too.
What's your favorite comedy that you can always watch over and over again and never gets old?
Oh man, see, you're gonna make me give a trite answer. What you? I'll
say Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles is one. Airplane is another. I'm naming stuff that people already know. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Right. I mean, but then
I'm sure people want to know coming from you.
Well,
so we all have our answers, the same answers probably. But yeah,
see, I like things that are unintentional comedies too, are weird stuff.
Right.
Like, look, if you're gonna ask me what my favorite comedy is that I can watch over and over again, Human Tornado.
There you go. No,
that's the one that I watch over. I can put that movie on any day and laugh my ass off.
I can put Billy Madison. That's a movie that I avoided for the longest time. And then somebody was like, "You got to watch this movie before I kill you." And I was like, "All right." And I saw it, and I never laughed so hard in my life. I mean, that movie, that's still like my favorite Adam Sandler film of all time.
Yeah.
I wish he'd go back to those films. But yeah, Blazing Saddles, Billy Madison. I'm sure there's I love comedies like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
See, we can go on and on.
We can go on and on, yeah.
But for me, if you really want me to laugh at something, comedy is like hard to me. Mm-hmm. The least you try to explain something, sometimes the more absurd it is, the funnier it is to me. Just like in horror, if the least you explain something and leave it up to me to figure it out, it's going to probably frighten me more.
Yeah, I think you and I too. I noticed something about things that we laugh at. I noticed like sometimes we'll laugh at like shit in the background of a film. Exactly. Like we'll see like in with the last what was Disaster movie. There's a scene like where people are running around like screaming their brains off, but you see this one old black guy just walking with a cane, just like walking. He's just there walking. It's like I know he's acting. I mean, that guy is acting. I mean, he's playing the old man. Even though he is an old man, he is really playing the old man. He's just walking. Man, I was laughing. We were both laughing our asses off.
And see, the funny thing is that we weren't even laughing at the movie.
Exactly.
We're talking about how terrible that movie is, but we're laughing at shit in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're right. It's those kind of things that, like even in Sex Drive. Do you remember when we were looking at that one guy in the background before we made fun? That guy was looking at that dude getting shot down.
Yeah, a guy gets completely shot down at this party
by this girl.
And there's some creepy looking motherfucker in the background. He just turns around and looks at the guy and he gives him this creepy smile
and he's looking through the whole scene
that
too.
Sucks to be you, dude. Yeah, and he's just looking at him, and we started laughing our ass off because he just had this insane laugh. I mean, it was an insane smile. That's what it was. It was a real creepy, dirty smile,
and it's as funny as hell.
Yeah,
man.
It is.
But see, you hit on a point because you talk about stuff that's in the background of places, things that aren't explained. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
There you go.
It's always this crazy shit going on in that movie. The biker scene, like when they're all like dancing to Tequila, you can look at the bikers as extras and how they're dancing crazy and shit. And it's like, I remember looking at that and just laughing at them.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and you're right.
Pee-wee's so absurd that it's funny, man. You don't need to explain. Why is this guy riding around on a grown man wearing a tight suit? He's flooding, wearing a red bow tie, riding a bike. There's no explanation for it.
And like there's characters that you never see in the movie. Like there's a character, and I'll always remember his name. As much as I forget sometimes about characters that are like the main characters of movies. Amazing Larry and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He's the guy during the meeting where he's talking during the meeting. He's like, "Is there something you can share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry?" And Amazing Larry has like this weird mohawk. He's an old guy with a weird and a crazy looking suit. He turns around and looks at him like with big old eyes, like,
"Whoa." They don't explain any of that shit. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's movies that just, you want to talk about things that just don't make any sense, but you can laugh at. Corn Dog Man.
Oh yeah, Corn Dog Man. Now that is a hidden gem. People go look for Corn Dog Man. Look that up and watch it, please.
Yeah. And it's I can say it. The ending is what really removes people. I mean, it's what scares people. It really takes them out of the film. They walk away saying, "I hated that movie because of the ending." But if you watch that whole thing, it gets monotonous for some people too. But I was laughing my ass off, man.
And I'll tell you another thing, Corey. The greatest film of all time as far as comedies is concerned, the greatest one I always tell people to watch is
Co-host. God damn it.